some of y'all are okay with gay people and like the LGBTQ community as long as they not doing too much stuff, you know? But that's like a white person telling the black person, hey, Jerome, I can be your friend, you know, but as long as you're not listening to hip hop, you know, as long as you're not wearing a do-rag, don't get too black on me.
Yes, we're both transgender. Yes, we're in a relationship. And yes, we're happy. Let's have tea. So here's a story about how me and my boyfriend got together. This is LaShawn. I'm Sienna. I'm 23. He's 24. And here's what makes us special. Not only are we both content creators, but I, Sienna, was born biologically male at birth and transitioned to the now trans woman that I am at 20 years old. And my boyfriend here, LaShawn, was born biologically female at birth and transitioned when he was 19. We've been together for 2 years now, and here's how we got together. So one day I was on TikTok Live, and this handsome gentleman came into my live and was trying to get my attention in the comments. And I wasn't paying any mind to him just because that's kind of how I am with men. I didn't really care to engage in any conversation with him until my followers were like, girl, go look at his page. He's dark skinned with waves. I said, oh, let me go give it a little look-ski. Lo and behold, I saw this handsome gentleman. And after months of us talking on and off, because I wasn't ready for anything serious at the time, July 2022, he got his top surgery, and he expressed to me that he didn't have anyone that he felt like would be talking to him or giving him comfort during that time. And of course, me being the comforting person that I am and the caring person that I am, I decided I would be that person. From there forward, we began talking a lot more consistently, getting to know each other on a more in-depth level. And I came to realize that I actually really like the person that he is. Beyond him being trans and me never having been with anyone else that was trans, it was a lot of concern with me as far as like how our relationship would go. When I put us being trans to the side and just looked at us as two individuals who both want love and to be understood and to be cared for, there was nothing stopping me from engaging in a full-blown relationship. We were long distance for over a year and had many, many ups and downs. But our love for each other was very strong, so nothing was going to separate us. In January 2024, he decided to make the move from New York to Florida, and now we live together. Not everybody understands our love, not everybody understands us, and not everybody understands our transition. But luckily, none of those things matter. As long as we love each other and have an understanding and we care about each other and we're two individuals figuring out life together, nobody's opinion matters. Trans or not, we're two individuals living life together, learning to love, learning to live, and just doing the best we can. And that's tea time with us.
The truth behind the gay son thought daughter debate that no one talks about is that at the end of the day, the worst thing your child can do is like man. I'm a fast talker, so I'll slow it down so you can hear what I said. The truth behind the gay son thought daughter debate that no one talks about is that at the end of the day, the worst thing your child can do is like men. It has nothing to do with whether your son is gay or your daughter is a thought. It has everything to do with what happens when your son is gay or your daughter is a thought. And what happens is that they like men. And you can try and tell me that I'm wrong. You can go ahead and try and tell me that I'm wrong, but you'll never convince me that I am, because if I'm wrong, why has the question never been asked in reverse? Why has the question never been lesbian daughter or slut son? And I'll tell you why it's never been asked in reverse, because on the other side, if the question was lesbian daughter or slut son, at the end of the day, that child likes women. And that's never been a problem, because as a society, women have never been the problem. It's always been the men. Take any major problem that we've ever had in society. I'm willing to bet you, if you trace it back to its start, standing right there at the origin is a man. And that's why the question is gay son thought daughter, because at the end of the day, the worst thing your child can do is like men, because men are the start of all problems. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Peace and love.
You know, there's 3 videos were necessary for this conversation. 1, people are okay with gay people as long as they're not being too gay. They're not too presenting of themselves. They're not too comfortable. When you come to me, you must shrink yourself to the level I can accept your gayness. Do not push your gayness to my face that I become accommodating, because 1, my religion does not support it. Number 2, I do not even support those beliefs, so I'm going to justify religion to that. Number 3, the society, like she said, the society has condemned the LGBTQ community and does not want to engage with them in any other form of fashion. They are outlaws, and they should be like that. That's why those 3 conversations are important, because not only are they 2 transgender people, but they are also of 2 opposite sex. One was born biologically female the other was born biologically male. And now these two people have swapped genders and decided to be who they truly want to be. And then people are not accepting. People are using religion to condemn them. People are saying that you're just doing too much. People are laughing at them. People are saying that they are weird. People are saying that they are confused and that they are not understanding of themselves, you know. But if we lived in a society that was non-judgmental, in a society where you feel that they do not deserve love, and that's the most of it, that God did not create them to do what they're doing to themselves. And that's awfully, ridiculously funny when you think about it. You're saying that your God, who has always said that the judgment of any kind is to him. So why are you doing the judging on his behalf? What about your own life? The sins that you do in the dark that nobody talks about. Are you ready to talk about it? You're easy to crucify other people's sin publicly because no one gets to see what you do behind closed door. Your sins are in closets because no one gets to talk about them. You probably like men. You probably like women. You probably envy their life, but you cannot live like them. Because what? You live in a society where you probably have kids, you probably have a family that will judge you, you're probably not emotionally stable enough to live the life that you want to be. That it would rather be as dark as possible. So that is why you become a woman abuser, a woman beater, a woman assaulter. Because nothing else in your life would ever make sense than that. It can never make sense to you.
People say stuff like God is love and then convince gay people that they need to be alone for their entire lives. God is love, but he doesn't want you to be able to love. God is love, but he thinks you should be alone for the rest of your life because you're not attracted to the right person. I always come across these profiles of people saying that they're choosing to obey God instead of being their sexuality. It's honestly so sad because there will be so many people in the comments saying she's doing the right thing, as if obedience is this like great form of love and the best thing they could possibly be doing. So unhealthy and dysfunctional to think that obedience is just what love really is. Meanwhile, the people who always say that gay people should live a life without any kind of romantic relationships are always people who are in relationships or engaged or married. Like, yeah, it's really easy for you to say while you have that thing in your life, isn't it? Falling in love and having relationships can be some of the best things you ever do in life. Trying to say that they need to give that up for a hypothetical God is actually insane to me. Makes me sad every time I see one of those posts and I see Christianity convincing people that who they are is. The comments from this video are just something else. That's fine if you think love is about procreation, but not everybody sees it that way. You have no problem saying this about gay people, but I guarantee you would not say this about a woman and a man married and the woman's just infertile. But then again, a lot of Christian people do have a problem with women who just don't want to have their own children because they say that's selfish. Selfish towards a being that doesn't even exist. Me personally, I'm in a long-term relationship. I'm never gonna have my own kids. Does that mean I can't experience and have love? No, of course not. So this is silly. It's really, really silly. A lot of times Christianity pushes this thing about procreating for God. It's a way for them to grow their religion and their churches and their communities, which is fine if you want to do that. But there are plenty of people on planet Earth who experience romantic love and don't procreate. So this argument of gay people shouldn't have relationships because they can't procreate is so silly, considering there are a ton of infertile people, men and women out there, who are in heterosexual relationships. Come up with a better